To the Breakwaters podcast. Got a special guest. You got Mr. Tyler Harris. How you doing?
Good, George. How about yourself? Thank you.
Of
Appreciate it. Thank you for having me on.
course, my pleasure. You want to tell a bit about yourself?
Yeah, I'm from Windsor, New Jersey. A lot of people call that Central Jersey. A lot of people also say that Central Jersey doesn't exist, but we'll save that for another podcast, I guess. It's a little subsection of Robbinsville. So I went to Robbinsville High School in New Jersey. I graduated there 2014, played soccer in high school. As you see, I've got all kinds of soccer stuff, a FIFA card, picture of, if I can get to it, me playing soccer when I was younger. There we go.
Awesome.
Yes, I played soccer in high school. Like I said, graduated 2014, started at Mercer County Community College, studied business administration. It wasn't for me. I was just kind of lost. Just kind of got into it because it was something to study after high school before I knew what I wanted to do. So I didn't like that. Didn't make it through my first semester there. Took a year break, went and worked a bunch of random jobs, UPS for a car shop near me, Six Flags during high school, all kinds of different stuff, just to try to figure out what I liked. Um, and then I figured out that sports and playing sports and watching sports, two of my more favorite things to do. Watching sports on TV, I was always fascinated with how the games were filmed and edited and everything. So I figured I'll try to get into sports media through television. Started at Mercer County Community College studying television. I really enjoyed that there. Had some great professors, met some great people too. Um, with the year break, my time at Mercer ended up being 4 years instead of two, as it is to get your associates. But I pushed through and I got there in the end and got my degree. Um, so that was community college, and then started Montclair State this past, well, not this past year, but 2019, 6 months before COVID. So I had a normal semester and a half and then COVID for 2 years, which I was only there for 2 years. So it was kind of pain in the butt to deal with the testing and lockdown and everything, but I made it through. A lot of online classes, just like Zoom right now. This is giving me flashbacks to a lot of my college courses. Um, and so I studied TV and digital media there at Montclair with a concentration in sports media. I joined the Red Hawk Sports Network. See, I'm representing here with this beautiful
Awesome.
sweatshirt. Um, that really turned into a second family when I was at Montclair during COVID. It's just you don't know what's going on. At first, you had no clue what was going on with COVID. So I found this group of people, joined right around when COVID started, and we all bonded. And by the time we got out of lockdown, we were able to actually do the things we'd been talking about for months, going out and filming games on campus, editing them, directing them. Red Hawk Sports Network was basically every week you make a show inside the nest, which is essentially Sports Center, but in the little Montclair bubble. So we went out and filmed baseball games, football games, soccer, you name it. We went out and filmed it. And then the crew came together each week to make the show. And then I graduated Montclair this year. So that's my school and college life.
That's Congratulations.
Thank you.
And you also, I read your athletics, the production staff at Princeton. You want to
Yes.
tell me
Yeah.
about that?
Yeah. I worked in Princeton. Let me check the date real quick so I don't get it wrong. It was, that was 2018. So my last year at Mercer, I started with Trenton Thunder to go back even further. I started at Trenton Thunder 2016 to 2018 as an usher, handing out tickets, pointing people to their section,
That's awesome.
just simple usher job. Had to go in the kids zone for a whole season to where I couldn't see the game, and that's what killed me is being able to hear the crowd reacting to the game and not being able to watch the game. You got to watch these everyone's kids because they're up watching baseball and they don't want to be bothered by their kids, so they throw them in the kids zone. So that was my job for a whole season. And then after 2018, I asked if they had any room on the production crew to film games and direct at Trenton Thunder. They said yes. So I joined 2018, their production crew. Um, I ended up getting someone's email somewhere along the way. In the sports business, George, you probably know very well, it's all about connections and who you know.
That's,
Um, that's what gets you places a lot of the time, is just knowing the right people and reaching out at the right times. So I reached out to Princeton. Um, they brought me on the first year of them doing ESPN Plus, broadcasting all of their games. So I got to do the first season of that, filming basketball games, Princeton versus Harvard, stuff like that, being on court level for that. I was a really, really good experience, considering I had just gotten through most of community college at that time. So to be at community college and um, being able to go film games at Princeton I felt like a really huge deal for me at the time. And it taught me a lot about sports and how things are supposed to work in the sports media industry. Um, and yeah, that year at Princeton was a lot of fun. And I feel like I learned a lot.
it's awesome. It's good to hear.
Yep.
You're also reading. You worked in the MLB for a little bit,
Yeah.
broadcast. You're a game operator for the MLB in 2022 last year. How was that?
Yes. Appreciate you doing your homework. Yeah, I was there this past year. I last winter I finished all my courses in like December, or I guess it was like October or November. I finished my last like winter course. And then from October to January, just all day, every day, applying to jobs, staring at LinkedIn for 8, 10 hours a day. Somebody must have been 5, 6, 7 years ago now told me, if you want a job, you have to put as much time into getting the job as you are going to put into working the actual job. And I didn't believe them at first. I was like, I'm not going to put in 8 hours a day into looking for jobs. But that's what it takes in the sports industry. There's a lot of competition. There's a lot of people that think they're up here and they're down here, or think they're down here and they're up here. And you just have to get your name out there as much as possible. Um, so after a couple months of just applying to absolutely anything and everything that I could find on LinkedIn through the winter, I heard back from my boss at MLB, Alex Marinoni. Um, he was fantastic to work with this year. I had so much fun with the MLB crew. I was doing PitchCast and StatCast. So when you're watching an MLB game on TV, you see the strike zone, the floating gray strike zone that's there. And then when they do replays and you see the ball trail go into the strike zone, that was all from the office I was a part of this year. Also the StatCast, which when they do the high home camera above home plate and you see the players out in the field and you see the name tags above their head, like for the Mets, it'd be Lindor and McNeil, Alonso, and maybe Correa now. As of filming this, that's still up in the air. But that's what I did this past summer. It was an unbelievable experience, and I got to work the All-Star game
That's awesome.
in Secaucus, remotely to Los Angeles. So out of Secaucus, I got to do the strike zone for the international broadcast for the All-Star game this year. Went to, I think, over 200 countries. Just crazy stuff. And then I got to actually travel for the playoffs too. I went to New York City, Yankee Stadium, Cleveland, to the Guardian Stadium, and then the Astro Stadium out in Houston. Got to do that for the playoffs and go do the strike zone in the production trucks for TBS.
That's awesome. So you're all over the place. That's great.
Yeah. Yeah. It's been trying to recap this past year, even just blows my mind, the fact that all of this has even happened within a year span. It's pretty unbelievable.
That's awesome. Congratulations.
Thank you.
Yeah, and I tell everybody too, and that's how I'm online all these finding different jobs for the teams. You have to want it. If you don't
Yeah,
want it, what's the point of putting the work if you don't want it? So if you want the job, you gotta put in the effort. You always gotta put in the effort and the time. So I always tell everybody.
absolutely. Yep. I learned that the hard way, because at first I was only applying to 1 or 2 jobs a day, here and there, taking days off, and I just wasn't finding anything. So it really took that couple weeks, if not couple months, of just sitting down and grinding, just job application after application. Till, I mean, at the end of the day, all it takes is one person at one company to see your resume and think, I want to hire this guy. or girl. You just need to find that person out there.
That's for sure. I agree. So now you're the director of production now for Trent Thunder. How's that?
Yeah, it's been great so far. I started there in November. I did the last 4 years on the production crew at Trent Thunder, so manning the wireless cameras and the wired cameras there, directing games, instant replay, stuff like that. And I feel like I kind of worked my way up over the past couple of years, just gaining the trust of the front office and having them believe in me that I could do this full-time job. So this is my first full-time job within the industry. Like I said, I took it in November. After the MLB job ended in October, I did the playoffs in October through mid-October, had a couple weeks off, and then started at Trent Thunder. And it's been great so far. I mean, I've never been part of an off season with the team, so it's been an adjustment for me for sure. Um, to kind of figure out what to do each day. It's not like I always was a game day I always was a game day production crew member. So you show up, you get told you're going to be on this camera filming this, this, and this, and then you go home after the game. This is a lot different. It's show up at 9 a.m., plan how everything is going to go within the season, which is still 5, 6 months from now. So it's been an adjustment for me for sure, trying to figure out how to fill each day and be as productive as possible. But it's been good so far. I feel like we've got some good things done so far, and looking forward to the season.
It's awesome. So I was reading with Trenton Thunder. I remember it's no longer the Yankees affiliate. Now it's the college collegiate summer team. So how does that work out? So it's a college players are all on one team and then and they complete. How does that work?
Yeah, it's kind of like, so we were the Yankees. We were the Yankees Double A team from 2003 to 2020. COVID forced minor league baseball to restructure a lot of the teams, and Trenton ended up losing the affiliation with the Yankees. So they got into MLB Draft League, which was started 2021, I believe. So this year will be the third season coming up. It's basically kids that are in college and they get told, hey, you're going to be drafted at this point in the draft, or you're going to go undrafted. And this is a way for them to raise their stock, their draft stock, without playing more college or going overseas or something like that. There's 6 teams within this region, and you basically get drafted onto a team at the start of the season. You play the first half of the season to get your stock raised, and then the draft, the actual MLB draft, is halfway through the draft league season. So like this year, Trenton had a really talented team, a lot of good players. But the problem with having a lot of good players in the draft league is you're going to lose them at the midway point in the season when they get drafted. So we had our best, let's say, 4 pitchers get drafted, our second baseman, our third baseman, the outfield. And in the second half, you see kids that maybe weren't getting a chance start to get their chance. So it's really a way to give college kids a way to raise their draft stock and hopefully get picked as high as possible in the MLB draft and stick in the league.
That's awesome. That's awesome. I never knew. That's why I was like, I gotta ask when you want to come on the show. And I reached out. I was like, I gotta ask you this because, like, what does this mean? Collegiate summer team. How does that work
Yeah.
out?
It's a new concept. Like I said, it's going to be the third season upcoming this year. And it's been fun to watch. It's you definitely get guys playing hard because they know that there are scouts watching and that their draft stock can depend just on how they play within those months. So it's some really entertaining and like high powered baseball because they're essentially playing for their careers, you think, trying to better themselves. So it's definitely a lot of fun to watch.
That's awesome. So we're gonna go to everyone's favorite round, the quick fire round. Are you ready?
Think so. Yep, let's do it.
I'm gonna start off with my favorite one. What's your favorite commercial?
My favorite commercial. Oh boy. Oh, this is supposed to be quick fire. I'll say the pig screaming out of the window. I think it was Geico. When the pig drives by in the window, he just goes wee. Bunch of years back, but
Yeah,
that's the one that comes to mind.
I remember that was a good one.
Yeah.
Favorite TV show?
Favorite TV show. See, the problem with that is that I studied TV at community college, so it kind of made me sour on TV because now I watch for the directing and not for the actual content. So I don't watch as much TV now, but I will say, I guess I'll go back to Walking Dead. I really enjoyed Walking Dead.
It's a good one. So,
Yep.
what about favorite movie?
Favorite movie. It's a good one too. Probably Forrest Gump. Straight classic.
It's
Watched
classic.
that.
Yeah,
Watched that
always
more times than I could count.
nice, nice.
Yep.
Since you're from New Jersey, Jersey born, do you ever? It's I always ask my Jersey guests this question. Do you ever go to Carlo's Bakery?
No, I've never been.
You have to go. That used to be my favorite show growing up. Cake Boss, Buddy Velasco. Great sweets over there.
Is
Yeah.
that in Princeton?
No, it's in Hoboken. So if you're ever in Hoboken, go
Okay.
check it out.
Okay. We'll do. Carlo's Bakery.
Yes, yes, sir.
Let me write that down so I don't forget. All right, got it. Yep.
All right. I'm gonna say favorite athlete of all time.
That's a great question. Of all time. I'm bad with these quick questions. Of all time. Albert Pujols as a Cardinals fan.
Nice. That's awesome.
Yeah.
So your favorite team of all time is the Cardinals?
Yeah, I'll say Cardinals. Yeah, they've been the team that I've followed for the longest since the summer of 2011. Been a Cardinals fan, so 11 or so years now. I got to see World Series in that time, so it's been fun. Yeah.
That's awesome. And I'm gonna go with another Jersey question that I asked. Are you a Jersey Shore fan?
The show or the beach?
The show.
The show, not really. I never really got into it. I did see Snooki though once at Point Pleasant. I saw Snooki walking down the street with a bunch of camera people around her. So that's as close as I got to Jersey Shore.
Yes, that's awesome. And we're gonna wrap it off with everyone's favorite question. Who's your celebrity crush?
Celebrity crush. I was actually just talking about this the other day. I had a couple, me and one of my friends were talking about Blake Lively because he said that he grew up in the same neighborhood as Blake Lively. So we had a conversation about her and it just turned into both of us crushing on her. So sorry, Ryan Reynolds, but I think I'll have to say Blake Lively.
Yes, that's awesome. All right, Mr. Harris, thank you for coming on. Is there anything you want to wrap off with before I conclude the episode?
Guess I'll just say if you're in the Trenton, Central, New Jersey, Philly area, try to come out to a Trenton Thunder game this year. George, you too, if you have an opportunity. We're going to have 40 games this season. Really looking forward to it, right in the capital of New Jersey. So if anyone's in the area, try to come out and see a game, and we'll try to put on the best show possible for you guys.
Sure, I agree. Go check out Trenton Thunder. Go check out my man Tyler Harris over here. And where could people find you?
People can find me on Twitter. Let me make sure I got the Twitter handle right. Sorry, is TR Harris 96. So if you want to follow me on Twitter, I tweet about the Knicks sometimes when they disappoint me and the Cardinals when they disappoint me. So if you want some stuff like that or some Trenton Thunder news, some pictures of Rookie the Bat Dog, we have a Bat Dog at Trenton Thunder that I post about all the time. So if you want to see stuff like that, hit me up.
It's awesome. Yeah, make sure you check it out. Links in the description. Make sure you check out Mr. Harris and Trenton Thunder. Go check out a game like you said. And thank you again for coming on. And I'll see you in a splash.
Absolutely, George. Thank you. Appreciate it.